house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Callie Foster. Hey, thanks so much for watching my videos and for all the support. So she wants to know, how do I think Julia and Liz compare to Adria and Natalie, the twins from season 5? As all of us Big Brother historians know, when Adria and Natalie entered the house together, they sucked. I think that Liz and Julia are set up a lot better than they were. I think it really helped that they shared their secret with a good, solid group of people early on in the game. I think that really helped them gain some trust, and I think they're in a much better position to go further into the game than Adria and Natalie did. That was a big flop for them. But I would definitely say that Julia and Liz are playing a lot smarter than they did. Alright, so let's talk about what's going on. I feel so re-energized with this week now that things are, shifted, power shift. So they had nominations yesterday, and James nominated Shelly and Clay. Question, is this real? Is this really real? Yes, it is, and it's amazing. So Shelly is definitely regretting not winning that HOH competition. She's like, if only I could have held on a little longer to the wall. And she was all, Clay, I don't want to be here without you. Who said that he's the one who's going? Like, what? Yeah, cat scuffle. So Vanessa goes over to talk to them, and it's like awkward turtles. So Shelly immediately starts throwing Austin under the bus to her. And Shelly's just like, the alliance is over. We have to get him up on the block. That's the only thing that's gonna save us. So what the hell are they doing up there? So Clay gets a little bit heated. He's just like, you're the one who put up Jason last week, and now we're the ones up on the block. And Vanessa's just like, whoa, bruh, slow down. Like, we all made that decision together last week. She is so tired of the blame being placed on her by them. You can tell, like, no one wants to take credit for what happened last week because it was an S show. Nobody wants that. So Vanessa is pissed. Like, she is not happy with Shelly and Clay for throwing her under the bus like that. So she's not happy. And I don't think that's a good idea for Shelly and Clay, who are in desperate need of votes this week. So then James goes and talks to Shelly and Clay, and apparently, Clay had a little blow up during the nomination ceremony. We didn't get to see it because it happened before the feeds came back on, but I think he may have even interrupted James's speech. And I don't think Shelly behaved so good either. But Clay apologized, and then James goes on to try and explain, like, why he put them up on the block. He was like, yeah, we made an alliance with you guys last week. Hello, Dark Moon. And then you freaking voted out Jason. What was that all about? Not only did they vote him out, but they lied about knowing the plan. So that wasn't cool. Meanwhile, outside, Vanessa is freaking fuming. There's basically smoke coming out of her ears. So she's talking to Austin, and she's like, Clay and Shelly are like about to blow up all of our games big time. So Austin's like, let's not let them do it. Let's just deny everything. We're gonna deny everything to the grave. We're just gonna cut them loose. So Vanessa agrees with this plan, and they tell the twins to do the same. They're just like, okay, if it's 4 of us saying one thing and the 2 of them saying something else, who are people gonna believe? It's a numbers thing. I wouldn't believe any of you guys. So then Shelly's being a brat. She's crying all over the place. She's just like, it's not fair because it's us. And she tells Austin, this was a real bitch move. She's just like, you're the reason why we're in this situation in the first place, so fix it. Would you like him to nominate himself? Is that what you're asking? Because that's what it sounds like. So Shelly's also saying how she's upset that this is happening the week before jury is supposed to be starting. It's not fair. They're splitting up a couple. And she has this like bogus reasoning. She's like, why would you want to split up a couple right before jury? Like, there's no way James would get my vote now if he was in the final 2. Yes, so he should keep both of you so that neither of you will vote for him. Really? Okay, so Shelly and Clay go and apologize to Vanessa because obviously they figure out like, oh, we're gonna need her vote this week in some capacity. So Vanessa is just like, yeah, like, it's really effed up what you did, but whatever. I think she's gonna remember that. So she tells them, you guys need to go out there and play hard in the power veto. And then Clay is just like, yeah, if I win the power veto, I'm gonna use it on Shelly, because she's my mama. Ugh, really? He's gonna fall on his sword for her? That's so lame. So then Vanessa and Steve are chatting. She's telling him, like, Shelly and Clay threw me under the bus. That's not cool. I didn't like it. They apologized, and I was just like, whatever. But I still feel super betrayed. So Steve is just like, you know what? I'd like to see both of them stay this week. What are you doing, Steve? Okay, but his reasoning is that they're huge targets and they would be excellent meat shields. So Steve's whole thing is keeping big targets in the house so that people want to take them out instead of him. But you know what, Steve? People still want to take you out, even with the big targets in the house. So you might want to rethink that strategy. But Steve is like, yeah, instead of them, I want to see Becky go this week. What is the beef between Steve and Becky? I feel like they're like at each other's throats, and it's so weird. Where did that come from? So then Vanessa's like, oh, you know what? Maybe we can get Becky backdoored this week. I'm gonna have a little think about it and see what I can do. Alright, so then speaking of Becky, she was talking to Johnny Mac, and they're both saying like, yeah, we want to try and help Shelly and Clay this week. Whoa. Okay, so their reasoning, they say that Shelly and Clay have done a lot to help them out. Really? Because, like, Johnny Mac was put up on the block how many times by them, and, like, told that he had to throw these competitions. Why would you want to help someone who did that? I would just be like, bye, payback. But anyway, they spill some beans to Shelly. They tell her that before the nomination ceremony, they were talking to Vanessa, and Vanessa was like, yo, I got a vibe right now that Shelly and Clay could be going up this week. And then Vanessa told them, don't tell Shelly and Clay. Oh, snap. Yeah. So Shelly takes this information to Clay. They're both pissed. Clay is just like, you know what, I'm done with Vanessa after this week. But then they agree, like, you know, we still need her for now, though. We need her vote this week. So after this week, done. Now we need her. So then Austin and Vanessa were chatting again. And before, you know, they were all gung-ho about cutting off Shelly and Clay, just, like, not working with them anymore. Now they're all four trying to save them. Gross. So Austin is like, I guess I really do owe them for what happened last week, because I could have been out of here. And then they're talking about how after Shelly and Clay are gone, they're kind of like the next big targets in the house. So it's the Steve thing again, keep the big targets in the house as a meat shield. And then Austin is like, you know, but at the same time, if one of them comes off of the block, who's going to be the replacement nominee? It could be Austin himself, or even worse, it could be Liz, and he does not want that. Okay, let's talk about Shelly again. She's getting really freaking desperate. She was talking to Steve, and she was just like, Steve, do you think if I went in the diary room and I asked them to start the jury early, they would do it for me? Oh, sure, Shelly, you just go right in there and do that, and I'm sure they'll go along with it. Really? Is this really real? No. So then Austin and Jackie were chatting in the cabana room, kind of a weird duo. Then Austin and Jackie were chatting in the cabana room, which was kind of a weird combination considering their history and how last week they were like, bleh. But now Austin's like, oh, I'm so grateful to James. Like, he definitely could have gone after me and Liz this week instead of whatever their names are, Shelly and Clay. So yeah, he's like, oh, I love James. He's the best. Do you really think that? So then Austin is saying how he would not use the veto if he won because he's afraid that one of the twins would go up, or yeah, it would be one of them, because if he won, he can't go up. But he doesn't want that, and it's very risky because somebody could go home, and especially before jury, he really doesn't want that. So then Jackie takes this back to James, and she's like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good about Austin at this point. Like, he says he's gonna work with us. Don't trust him. So then Austin tells the twins, look, if we get picked to play in the veto, we can't be throwing this crap. We need to fight hard, we need to win it, and then keep the nominations the same, because if somebody comes down, chances are one of their group is going to be going up. So it takes a while for Austin to explain this, but eventually it sinks in, and they're just like, oh, okay, we'll do that. So then James and Vanessa are chatting, and James is like, I'm gonna lay it down right now. I want Shelly out this week. So Vanessa's just like, all right, that's fine. It's just like, I'm in a really tough spot this week because Shelly and Clay, if they get house guest choice, they're gonna want to pick me to play for them. And then if I win, like, what do I do? So she says she would only use it with James's blessing. Why would he ever give his blessing for that? So eventually they agree, like, maybe it's best for her to just throw it if she is, in fact, playing in the Power Veto competition. So there was more tension between Shelly, Clay, and Vanessa last night. It's just, like, a lot of bickering right now because they're all super paranoid and they feel like they can't really trust each other. But at the same time, they feel like they need each other. So it's just, like, weird vibes. But this morning, they picked players for the Power Veto competition. So, of course, we have James, Clay, and Shelly. And then the 3 extra players are Jackie, Becky, and Vanessa. And the host is Julia. All right. So they're all waiting around for the POV competition, and there's kind of like some weird stuff going on between James and Austin, because we know that Austin was all like, yeah, if I play in the Power Veto, I'm not going to use it if I win. So Austin was kind of expecting James to pick him if he got house guest choice. And he did get house guest choice, and he didn't pick him. So Austin was kind of weirded out by that a little bit. He's like, is this guy being real with me? Like, is there some sort of backdoor plan? Calm the F down. Do you really expect James to pick you? You're not the most trustworthy person in the house. I mean, really. Just because you said you're going to do something does not mean you're going to do it. So Vanessa is talking to Austin. She's like, that should show you a lot. Like, you better effing be loyal to me, okay? Let that be a lesson to you. So Vanessa is also freaking out, though, because she has to play in this competition, and part of her is like, maybe I should just throw this. And then the other part of her is like, if I throw this, what if Shelly and Clay get themselves off the block, and then I'm going to be going up in their place? Like, she's really paranoid that there's some sort of backdoor plan to get rid of her. So then Vanessa, Austin, and the twins are all chatting, and they agree, like, I would definitely rather keep Shelly over Clay this week. I don't care if James wants Shelly to go. Like, they feel like she would be the better one to keep. Clay is gonna be like useless and clueless without Shelly. He's gonna be all, where's my mommy? So they definitely want to keep Shelly, and it's gonna be interesting. But they had the Power Veto competition today. It had punishments and rewards. Gotta love those. So let's cut to the chase. POV winner, James. Oh my god. Okay, Clay won a trip to Ireland. Becky won $5,000. Vanessa and Jackie are chained together. I don't know the length of this punishment yet. I don't know if it's 24 hours, maybe it's 48. I have no idea. Hopefully we'll know tomorrow. And Shelly has some sort of weird punishment where she's got to do like this sword routine or something for 24 hours. And like if she doesn't complete it, she's not going to be able to play in the veto next week. I don't know. It sounds really interesting. Hopefully I'll have the details for you guys tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think of all this in the comments. And until then, much love.
Edit.